Good evening and welcome to the season premiere of MSU Inside Out. I'm your host, Sadie Lynn.
I'm Dalton Davis. Guys, welcome to our season premiere. I just want to let you know, guys, we've got a bunch of new segments, a bunch of new faces on the show this season. And I want to let you know, we're a bunch of rookies. So if we screw up, then, that's expected. We're a bunch of rookies. But if this production goes really, really well, then be impressed because we're a bunch of rookies. With that being said, we're going to get started right into it. Tayton, you got some news for us. Go ahead and kick us off.
Oh, yeah, Dalton. Hartnett Hall has reopened on the Minot State campus. The iconic building recently completed a $26 million renovation. The North Dakota State Legislature approved funding for the project in November of 2021. Renovations included new HVAC systems, complete remodels of classrooms and floor layouts, and adding additional natural light throughout the building. One of MSU's newest clubs is making waves across campus. Debuting with the Hartnett Hall renovations is the new esports arena that boasts various gaming consoles, 8 flat-screen TVs, and over 20 PCs for gamers across campus. The club currently fields 7 competitive teams for competition with other universities in the region. President Brady Dukeshire says that the best part about the club is seeing how big it has become and how involved the campus has become with the new club. A reminder for students that Title IX training courses are mandatory and due on September 30th. Alternative training is available for those who may have difficulty with the content. If you are in need of alternative training, please contact Title IX Coordinator Lisa Dooley via email at lisa.dooley@ndus.edu. The Minot Symphony Orchestra has started strong for its 99th season. On September 21st, the orchestra put on its first of 6 shows at Anna Nicole Nelson Hall. This season, they have many new and experienced performers, such as Scandinavian pianist Oda Volterskovic. Tickets are $25, but discounts are available to MSU students and military personnel. This past weekend, Minot State hosted the annual NOTSTOCK event. With more on the story are Zoe H. and Zoe W.
NOTSTOCK is Minot State's signature arts event. We talked to Professor Bill Harbert about his favorite parts of NOTSTOCK.
My favorite part about NOTSTOCK is watching people participate in making and doing art.
The Minot community is invited to participate in this celebration of the arts. This allows them to be hands-on.
It allows the Minot community to come onto campus and get involved with our art department and our English department and all the departments at Minot State and be creative.
This 17th annual event includes screen printing, ceramics, poster art, illustration, theater, and so much more. MSU student Colby Opp describes why NOTSTOCK is so great.
NOTSTOCK is such a great way for Minot State to recognize MSU art students and their abilities and to appreciate what they do for campus. My favorite part of NOTSTOCK personally is the rockstock stuff that they do up in the Dome parking lot.
NOTSTOCK's 3-day event was filled with hands-on experiences, guest work, student work, and so much more. If you are interested in art on campus, the Northwest Art Center is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is Zoe reporting for KMSU TV.
Thank you, Zoe Squared, for that wonderful package on MSU's signature arts event. Dalton, lots of fun stuff going on across campus, especially right here in our own building.
There is a lot of stuff going on, and the season just started. This year just started. And this season, we're joined with our very first interview. This is the Luenga, I said that right? Luenga Leadership Program Director, Jim Sturm. Jim, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Jim, I'm in one of your classes. This is my first time taking one of your classes, and the first day you had really harped on the fact that we need leaders and the importance of leadership and why we have a leadership program here at Minot State. Can you dive into that for us?
Sure. So Roger Luenga, who started the program, was a Minot State graduate and went on to become the CEO of Auto Owners Insurance Company, which is a Fortune 500 company. And he saw how much time and effort they spent, and money, quite frankly, they spent trying to train people in leadership skills working at the insurance company. So he decided that wouldn't it be nice if we had college students graduating with all of those skills? So he gave $1 million grant to Minot State to start a leadership center. And it was the only one in the state of North Dakota. So it is a unique opportunity for Minot State students to develop their leadership skills.
Now, you've been teaching this for quite a while now. How have you seen just the development of leaders just from when they first get into the classroom and throughout the semester and throughout their years here at Minot State?
I think if you look at the students who start as freshmen to when they get to their senior year, the biggest thing you'll notice is just how much more confidence they have in themselves. We try to give them a lot of hands-on experiences so that each time they're a little bit successful, they build their confidence. And then each time it just goes up, so that by the time they're seniors, it's amazing to see them in front of a crowd talking or running an event and having that confidence to do all of those things.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people just from the start of the semester till now in my class that I've seen develop, going from like a shy person to making them speak up, making them get out of their shell. You know, it's all about getting out of their comfort zone. How important is that?
It's huge. Imagine all of those skills, especially when it comes to interviewing or taking charge of something at work, right? We're trying to make sure that you have all those leadership skills and things that you can put on your resume. So it really is all about making you even more competitive. We know that employers are looking for leadership skills and communication skills and interpersonal skills and problem-solving skills. So those are the things that we try to teach. And if you can already put those things on your resume, just imagine how your resume stands out compared to everybody else who's applying for that same job.
Yeah, that's good. You talk about, I know you're involved in a lot of stuff that's off campus or on campus, but extracurriculars. What stuff can students get involved in on campus that is leadership type stuff?
So we do 20 workshops every semester. So every Tuesday and Wednesday we have leadership workshops that are 60 minutes or less on specific topics, things like problem solving or working with teams. We have a leadership floor in the residence hall, so you can live in the residence hall on a floor with a whole bunch of people who also want to learn about leadership. We do a student leader retreat. We have a women's leadership conference. This year we're starting a dinner and conversation series. You can have dinner with a leader and be able to have a conversation with them. And we've also just started a leadership club. So now we have a club that about 40 members so far.
Wow.
So again, we have speakers and we do events and service projects. So it's a way for people to get real hands-on experience.
And are you able to join that? You don't have to be in, do you have to be in the leadership program
No,
to join
that's
that?
open to any student. So we meet on Thursday nights. And our next meeting we'll have Clint Severson and Connie Ahart, who have given to the Severson Entrepreneurship Institute. So they will be coming to speak about what it means to be a leader.
Wow. So guys, if you are listening to this and you are a Minot State student, make sure you're getting involved. Guys, if you want to learn more about leadership, contact Jim. Go Thursday nights. They're joining on in the club, right? What's the name of the club?
It's Leadership Club.
Leadership Club. That's as easy as it gets. But Jim, thank you for joining me. I know campus-wide, you're not known as Mr. Sturm. You're known as Jim. Mm-hmm. And whenever I talk about your class to everybody else, they are like, "Oh, I love Jim." And so thank you for your involvement in just MSU and all you do for us as students. And yeah, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
With that being said, we're going to kick this into a underwriting break here very, very soon. And after the break, we're going to have some sports. Thank you. Like a giraffe, or like
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out. Up next is sports with Zoe.
Zoe, guys, everyone that's watching, Zoe threw for 2 touchdowns last night in our intramural victory to send us to the championship. So she knows what she's talking about when it comes to sports.
All right, kicking us off today, the Beaver football team has started off with a season hotter than ever with the 3-1 record to begin play. This record comes off the back of freshman Nalu Cordero, who against SMSU broke a school record by scoring 2 pick sixes, one of which was 92 yards, another Minot State record, en route to help the Beavers win 42-9. Cordero was awarded the NSIC and National Defensive Player for the Week with his efforts. Minot State football next game is Saturday, where they will be taking the Sioux Falls for Energy Day. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Running over to the women's soccer team, Minot State's goalkeeper, Siriana Gudino, named the NSIC Goalie of the Week, was at the beginning of September. Gudino stopped all 10 shots she faced throughout both contests. This effort was to get them back for the team. She has the 5th shutout for the Minot State Beavers to win 1-0 over the Northwest Nazarene. So far this season, she has a 93% save percentage. The Beavers currently have a record of 2-1. Tomorrow, the Lady Beavers go on the road to battle Minnesota State Mankato. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. Skating over to the Mesa, the Minot State women's hockey team is back on the ice for the first time this season. 3 of their 4 top point scorers return for another year of the team. Leading the list is senior Paige Ackerman. She comes in from last year leading its scoring of 17 points and 6 goals and 11 assists. They head to Midland tonight for their games tomorrow at 5 p.m. and their game on Saturday at 4. Next up, we have a package from one of our classmates, Alex Kootnz, as she talks about a book review.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex. You may know me from last year. I was the host for the show, but this year is going to look a little bit different. I am going to be doing a segment on book reviews. I'm going to take a page out of our friend Grant's book for this season. And for our first show, my book that I'm going to review is called Stalking Jack the Ripper. Stalking Jack the Ripper is a New York Times best-selling horror novel. I wouldn't say it's horror, but that's as it is described on Google by author Carrie Maniscalco, who is in fact one of my favorite authors now. And this book is set in Victorian-era London and follows 17-year-old Audrey Rose Wadsworth, a lord's daughter with a passion for forensic medicine. This is defying societal norms. She becomes embroiled in the investigation of ghastly serial killer known as Jack the Ripper. The story is known for its creepy atmosphere and unexpected, blood-chilling conclusion. Some of my favorite things about this book is the way Carrie Maniscalco goes about using historical fiction during that time and also historical nonfiction. She uses aspects of the real Jack the Ripper case in her fictional book with these characters. Another thing that I love so much about this book is the character development. So it is a trilogy, and if you make it, you not only get to see the characters develop through each book, but through each chapter as well. The 2 main characters, obviously one that I mentioned, Audrey Rose, and then the other one is Thomas Cresswell. Thomas Cresswell has some kind of like a Sherlock Holmes type vibe, very calm, very calculated, very, very smart and clever, and not very easy to get along with. And so we see this, a little bit of friction with Audrey Rose and Thomas Cresswell at the beginning of the book, but you see them slowly start to have camaraderie through this Jack the Ripper case, leaning on each other for their smarts and how to go about learning about how to dissect a human body, how to learn together through this time where science is seen as evil and wrong. You also get a little bit of romance in this book. I know, gross, but it is very refreshing. It's not as cliche as usual enemies to lovers is. It's much more, you're finding things that you can relate to each other, and I think the way that Carrie Maniscalco goes about that with her two main characters is super refreshing, and overall it's a really good read. So I would rate this book a 9 out of 10. Stay tuned though, I'm going to be reviewing book number 2 of the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. See you next time.
Thank you, Alex, for that package. And now we're going to kick it to Sadie with her host, Kevin Burkhart.
Hi, Kevin. Welcome to MSU Inside Out. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Absolutely. Kevin is a longtime contributor of the Norse Hostfest, and he's also Santa Claus. Super exciting.
Sadie.
So, could you tell me a little bit about your involvement with Norse Hostfest?
Well, this year and the last few years, I have emceed in one of the larger halls called Reykjavik. So I get to introduce bands like Molly B and the Waddington Brothers and Miska and Steve Sokela. Very talented musicians. I love it.
Absolutely. So Norse Hostfest is on its 45th year this year. Are you guys doing anything exciting?
Well, there's a lot of exciting things happening. Every year we're trying to make it more appealing to younger crowds, but still make it what has always been special to people who've been there for 40 of those 45 years. Yep.
Could you tell me a little bit about how Norse Hostfest preserves and celebrates Scandinavian culture in the Minot area?
We go Hostfest in the schools. We teach about Scandinavian culture, and I'm 100% German, so I have a lot of Scandinavian culture to learn about.
Do you have any favorite memories from any previous past year Hostfests?
You know what? I have too many to list, but I just enjoy connecting with people and seeing the joy in their faces as they sample Nordic food and reconnect with friends they haven't seen for a year.
You mentioned Molly B. My grandparents loved Molly B. Every time I went to their houses when I was younger, they'd always be listening to polka music, and my grandpa would be tapping his toe to the music, and it's just such a childhood memory for me.
Molly B is the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
So looking ahead, what is the future of Hostfest?
I think the future for Hostfest is really bright, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I've been a volunteer many years, and I look forward to what the future holds for Hostfest. It's pure Scandemonium.
Yeah. So, I've never gone to Hostfest myself. So, do you have any tips for first-time goers, and why should I go?
Well, you should go. You should go early. Make it a day so you can experience all of the things. Don't rush through Hostfest. And try all the food. Go to some of the free concerts like Molly B. They're spectacular. And you'll know why everybody goes back when you've been there one day.
This has nothing to do with Hostfest, but I am curious. Could you tell me a little bit about Santa Claus?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Sadie. I don't know if you believe in Santa, but Santa believes in you. And I think you still have a shot at making the nice list this year. You've been nicer than last year, so you're trending in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Santa.
All right.
So, make sure you check out the Norse Hostfest. It is going on now from now until the 28th of September, and it opens every day at 9 a.m. And if you go at 4 p.m., tickets are half off. So make sure you check it out. Moving on to international news, tensions between Israel and Hezbollah has erupted into a full-on war. Godwin Great has more on the story.
This week's international news comes from the Middle East, where Israel and Hezbollah, a Lebanese militant group, face off. The confrontation started when pager phones all over Lebanon suddenly blew up on Tuesday, September 16th. The pagerphone attack resulted in 37 deaths, including children and 2 sons of top Hezbollah officials. Also, nearly 3,000 people were recorded injured, including Mujtaba Amani, Iran's ambassador to Lebanon. Hezbollah officials and Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati blamed Israel calling the attack a significant security breach and Israel will certainly receive its just punishment. Shortly after the pagerphone attack, Hezbollah came true to their words and launched retaliatory strikes into Israel. The Israelis in response launched numerous strikes on Lebanon. So far, 500 people are dead, including Hezbollah's top military commander, and more than 1,000 people are confirmed injured. Lebanese authorities say this marks the deadliest barrage since the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war. The IDF and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned the Lebanese, telling them to get out of harm's way, their fight is not with them, and they should not let themselves be used as human shields. Thousands of Lebanese are currently trying to leave the country in a panic, resulting in traffic all over Lebanon. Godwin Great, KMSU International News Correspondent.
Coming back to us with a couple standout titles, a new movie update from Grant.
Hey everyone. It has been a while since I've done one of these. At least like 3 months. Good Lord. Oh my God, it's been 4 months. Oh my God. Since there's been the summer break, since we've had some time, since I've been able to talk about some movies, I decided I'd do a little summer recap for everyone, sort of talk about the stuff I saw that was new or things that were old that I experienced for the first time. This should be a lot of fun. Something new that I saw this summer was this A24 thing called I Saw the TV Glow. It's this awesome horror movie by Jane Schoenbrunn. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I thought this movie was awesome. It had such a great visual identity. I always love when Alex G does a soundtrack for something. I was fully on board for that. And also the horror elements, you know, they weren't traditionally scary in the sense of like, you know, nuns screaming or anything like that. You know, it was a very psychological, sad film, you know, about sort of identity and, you know, coming of age and youth and all that sort of stuff. If you're interested in the A24 horror scene or just want to see a really cool movie that's, you know, somewhat recent, I would recommend this, full stop. Plus, it has cameos from Phoebe Bridgers and, like, Connor O'Malley. And, you know, who doesn't love Connor O'Malley?
Bill, you're crushing it! Bill!
Sans Soleil. Sans Soleil is this half documentary, half essay film by Chris Marker. Most people know Chris Marker for his short La Jetée, which has inspired so many things, it's ridiculous to even name them off. I had seen La Jetée before Sans Soleil, and I liked La Jetée, but I was not prepared for how amazed I was going to be by Sans Soleil. This movie is purely just a sequence of observations and 16mm camera footage that Chris Marker took while he was in Japan and just compiled them all together in this really thought-provoking art piece. The last thing I wanted to mention before I leave was a Chantal Akerman film called News Before Home. Chantal Akerman is a French female director. She's most known for Jean Dielman. I absolutely loved News from Home. News from Home is kind of similar to Sans Soleil in the idea that it's more of an art piece than like a traditional piece of cinema. News from Home is a bunch of 16mm shots of New York taken by Chantal Akerman, compiled over a long set of time, and set to letters that her late mother had sent her. And they're read out over the course of the footage by Chantal Akerman. Without giving too much of the film away, this is an incredibly moving piece of cinema. It's incredibly emotionally resonant. I absolutely loved the film. It requires a good deal of patience from the viewer, but I think it makes it all the more rewarding and special to finally say that you've seen it. And that's all I really have to say about the movies. I'm super excited for stuff that's coming out soon. I'm probably going to see that Joker movie, even though it looks like a mess. I hope to see all of you very soon so that I can continue my trend of incessantly talking about movies for 5 minutes at a time every week.
Thank you for that movie review, Grant. Up next is Weather with Maddie.
Thanks, Sadie, and congrats to both of you as it's your debut for your first time being hosts on the show. So we can't wait to see what you do. Now, looking at the current temperature, if you've been in North Dakota long enough, you know that the fall season is pretty bipolar when it comes to the temperature outside. Currently, we're at 81 degrees, but as the night continues, it is going to drop pretty rapidly down to 46 degrees. Now, I hope you enjoyed the sun, as it was pretty sunny the entire day, and you probably felt the 18-mile-per-hour winds as well. Moving on to the weather animal of the week, sponsored by Qdoba Mexican Eats. Love their quesadillas, by the way. Today we have featured Mocha. She's a 5-month calico cat, and she's from Northport, Florida. Now, over in Florida, where little Mocha is from, unfortunately, Hurricane Helen is ramping up and is expected to hit the Gulf Coast within the next few days. Now, this Category 4 storm is going to have over 130 mile-per-hour winds and storm surges of up to 20 feet, which is catastrophic damage for the area. Some areas are also looking at up to 12 inches of rainfall, so residents are preparing for flooding. And next up, we have the 7-day forecast sponsored by Papa John's Pizza. Now, this weekend is going to be beautiful. Again, it's going to be in the 80s, and there are only so many beautiful weekends left in the year, so make sure you take advantage of that, get outside, and enjoy the sun. Now, after the weekend, temperatures are going to drop a bit. We're going to have winds over 20 miles per hour, and temperatures are going to be in the 60s, as well as partly cloudy skies. So, time to get those jackets back out. You never really know what fall is going to bring you. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for fall and Halloween, or are you more of summer people?
Absolutely. I am so excited for fall and Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and that's why Santa put me on the naughty list. But I'm also excited for the cooler temperatures because the heat has been really getting to me. What about you, Dalton?
I don't like the heat because I don't like sweating, but I also don't like freezing cold temperatures and snow and wind in your face 24/7. So I'd rather be in the summer, I think. With that being said, though, we are going to take a quick promo break before we end this show with a wrap-up. So stay tuned, and we'll wrap this thing up.
Minot State's small enough that you get to experience a lot of good things. Get into radio right away, TV right away, work as a director, a producer, or a talent on the show. It's really fun to be involved doing all those things. We've got the new technical equipment. Everything you work with here, for the most part, is going to be out there in the real world. Neil Roberts is a great mentor. He has been seasoned in TV and radio and able to bring that experience to the classroom, and he's personable. He has a passion for it, and he wants everyone else to share that passion as well. I'm the director and producer of Inside Out. I work with a lot of different people and make sure that everyone's satisfied and everybody's working together to make communication what it is. Over this semester, everybody's worked together and found this rhythm with each other, and it all just comes together. It makes a really nice finished product.
Thanks for watching MSU Inside, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm Sadie.
I'm Dalton. Subscribe, leave a comment, like, and we'll see you next week.